Hello students, greetings of the day. I, Mrs. Usha Vasani, welcome you all to Social Studies online classes. Today we are going to start chapter number 19, the Indian government. As you know, I have divided this chapter in parts just for your better understanding. So children, let's start the learning. Children, first let me tell you that why have we started with chapter number 19. Now, as you all know that social science is a subject which is divided into three parts: history, geography and civics. History is all about studying of our kings and knowing about our own civilization of past, that is history. If we talk about geography, it's all about knowing different landforms existing on the earth, or knowing about different continents, knowing about oceans, means to know about our planet earth, or the speciality of different continents, or you can say that knowing about the water part of the earth, etc. Now, what is civics? Civics is a part of study in which we know about the rights and duties of citizens, or you can say that a study which is relating to a city or a town or people, how they live, or relating to the citizenship or being a citizen of a place, or you can say that a study to which or study of which the government, knowing about what is government or how this government works or how it is divided into different parts, how it is divided, then to know about how as a citizen what are our rights, what are our duties, etc. So that is all about civics. You can say to know about politics partially at a very basic level in grade 5. So uh, today we are going to start our portion of civics, that is the Indian government. Now, talking about chapter number 17 and 18. Last week, Mrs. Khanderia, she explained you about the Gandhian phase. What was the role of Gandhiji in our freedom struggle? Of course, he was an important leader of Indian National Congress, and so Madam taught you, or she discussed about the importance or about his role in attaining our freedom. But there were other several leaders who also left their mark through the ages and helped us to attain our freedom from the British. That is all about different leaders about whom we are proud of. So that is your chapter number 17. We are proud of them. And then comes chapter number 18. That is the religious and social reformers. Now, about 2 centuries ago, means about almost 200 years ago, there were several social problems which were existing in our country, and they were related to caste, child marriages, or sati system. Now, women were kept uneducated, and Hindu widows were found to burn themselves, that is sati. They were burnt alive when their husbands died. Differences were made between the people on basis of caste, upper caste and lower caste. But there were people who devoted their lives to improving the society, and they were called the reformers. They gave society a new way of thinking, and they really devoted their lives behind giving new forms to the society. In India, we have had a large number of such great people also. So that is all about chapter number 18, that the religious and social reformers like Raja Ram Mohan Roy, Dayanand Saraswati, Pandita Ramabai, Sir Said Ahmad Khan. If we talk about We Are Proud of Them chapter, in that chapter, it's all about Rani Lakshmi Bai, Bal Gangadhar Tilak, Subhash Chandra Bose. But more or less, we have discussed about them in chapter number 15 as well. When I had explained you chapter number 15, I had divided that chapter in almost 8 parts. And I have tried to cover up social reformers, other great leaders, other freedom fighters. More or less, we have talked about all these people in chapter 15 also. So for time being, I and Shraddha madam have decided that just now we keep those chapters aside, that is chapter number 17 and 18. If time permits, we will see at the end, but for time being, we are not doing those chapters because already we have explained you about these people in chapter number 15. So today I have started with the part of civics. So children, we will be studying about our Indian government. How does it work? So we will be studying chapter number 19. Now, the learning objectives of this chapter would be, first of all, to understand the meaning of government, to understand the functions of a government, to know about the types or the forms of government, and to understand the levels of government. So first, I would want you all to know actually the meaning of government, to understand what are its function, to know how many levels of government are there, to know what are the types of government, etc. So children, first of all, in this part I will be briefing you about knowing what government is. So let's begin with the learning. Students, let me start the explanation of this chapter from where Shraddha madam left. She lastly explained you that the freedom, however, came at cost for India, and then the country was divided, and finally this part which we are seeing on the screen came to be known as India. Now, if we talk about that, finally the British government had decided to free India from the British rule. However, this independence came at a very big price, meaning lot of people have done lot of efforts in getting freedom to our country. Lord Mountbatten was the last Viceroy of India, and he announced that the former British colony, namely would be India, because it was given the choice to Britisher that if they want to live in India, they would be under the control of new team of Indian National Congress, or else they can go to Britain. So this was about freeing India. Then India was divided into two parts, that was India and Pakistan. The princely states were given choices either to join India or to join Pakistan or to be independent. Finally, India became independent on 15th August 1947, and Dr. Rajendra Prasad was our first president and Jawaharlal Nehru became the first Prime Minister of Free India. Now, basically, I'm telling you all this about that after we got freedom, means after India was India and then Pakistan was a different country altogether, all the Indian leaders of Indian National Congress thought of making a new constitution. They framed a new constitution and they wanted to have a democratic form of government. Means in our India we have a democratic form of government, meaning it is a rule of the people, it is rule for the people, and it is ruled by the people. Means there are different forms of government or different types of government. So children, let me first tell you that how many types of government are there. First of all, I want to make it clear the meaning of government. Government is a system that rules a state or a community, means a system of social control under which the right to make laws, then the right to enforce those laws, which is given to a particular group of people, and that is what is known as a government, right? I think you're clear. Government is not the name of any one person or two people, but it's the whole group or a team of people who governs the country, who rules the country. Now, India, when it got its freedom, all our team leaders, all the leaders of National Congress, that is Indian National Congress, thought of making a democratic rule over India. Now, first let me explain you that there are different types of government, means different forms of government. And then we selected out of those various forms democratic rule over India. So first, let us know what are the types of government or how many types of government are existing all over the world. So first we will understand the types of government. Children, you can see a flow chart on your screen that is showing the types or the forms of government. I have shown you a small flow chart so that you can understand. So we start from the left first, that is democracy. Democracy is a type of government which is, see, I have shown you the meaning below it, the arrow pointing towards democracy, but below that it shows or it tells about the meaning of democracy. So democracy means ruled by many people. Then we talk about the next one, that is oligarchy, meaning the rule of a country by a few people. Means only few people are the people who makes the law, who make the laws, and also they see that the laws are executed. Okay, so first we studied about democracy, which is ruled by many. Oligarchy means a rule by a few of them. Then the third one is dictatorship. The meaning of dictatorship is ruled by one, a person, only one person who makes the law, who see or who appoints the people under him, will see that how these laws are executed properly or not. So that is dictatorship. Then again, the second line on the left is monarchy. Monarchy, again, it is a rule by one, that is basically the rule which is rule of kings or queens. That is monarchy, where there is a system where there are king ruling over that area or the queens ruling over that area. So that is again monarchy. And the right or the fifth second line is anarchy. That is rule by none. There is no government, there are no rulers, but the situation is completely haywire, means there are no rules, no laws, anyone can bully on anyone, anyone can boast upon anyone, and the complete mess is going on in the country. Means it's a very bad form of anarchy. But yes, in world there are places where actually there are no rulers, neither kings nor dictators nor a group of people, that is democracy, neither there is oligarchy. Means there are some places very remote or very you can say the areas where lot of bullying is going on. We can say that lot of terrorism is going on, where nobody is ready or bold enough to take the charge of that place. So that type of rule which is prevailing in some part of the world is known as anarchy. So first, these are the different types of government. Now I'll explain you one after the other in detail so that you can set your minds to know about the government, and then we will understand that what rule is currently prevailing in India, right? So let us see each one of the rules in a little bit detail so that you can understand it better. First, we will understand democracy. The word democracy comes from ancient Greek words meaning people and rule of government. It is a system of government of a country whose leaders have been elected by the people. Means, if you all know, children, after every few years you must be hearing the word known as election. So that is how we elect the representative. We all, means the people or above 18 years have got right to vote, and we all vote to the person whom we like or whom we think that can be a better leader. So we all have that freedom to vote to the person whom we find it right as a leader. And so that is a system of a country whose leader have been elected by the people. When the elected representatives meet in parliament to make laws, the form of government is a parliamentary democracy. Now parliament again is a place where all the ministers meet, or you can say in a simple word, a place or an office where these all the leaders, all the ministers have their meeting, or they have a place where they can meet and discuss about framing the laws, and also discuss about how these laws should be executed. All right, so that is a place called parliament. So this is all about democracy, where people have the rule of government, or the person as a leader is elected by the common people of the country. Now let us understand about monarchy. A monarchy is a form of government led by an individual who holds the position for life, having inherited the position, and who passes it on to a relative, usually a son or a daughter. In the past, all monarchs, means kings, held great power and made all the decisions and laws of the country. This is known as absolute monarchy. Today, most monarchs act as head of the state filling a ceremonial role with little or no power regarding the actual governing of the country. A constitutional monarchy is a country which has a written constitution that sets out the rules for the how the country will be governed and the rights and responsibilities of its people. Meaning, in a very simple word, I can tell you the monarchs means the rule of kings, which is inherited usually to his son or daughter. So the rule of kings is known as monarchy type of a government. Let us talk about dictatorship. In a dictatorship, one person called a dictator has absolute power. This differs from totalitarianism in that it is less controlling and not marked by a rigid set of beliefs. Some time before, we had totalitarianism, that is one form of government which was existing in Iraq. That was Saddam Hussein who was ruling, and he was a dictator, but he was a person of rigid mindset and rigid beliefs. He's no more now, but that type of rule is different from dictatorship. In dictatorship, sometimes a country run by dictatorship may be called a republic. Such republics have only one political party, and the dictator makes most government policies and decisions. Means, though one person is a head of the country, but he does not have that type of control which is marked as a rigid mindset or beliefs. He of course takes the decision, or he also takes the suggestions from the people who he has appointed as a team under him, but although it is he who is a final decision maker of the country rules. So that type of rule is known as dictatorship. Let us talk about oligarchy. An oligarchy is a form of government in which only a few wealthy people hold power. Wealthy meaning the person who has lot of wealth, lot of money. So oligarchy is a form of government in which only a few wealthy people hold power. A republic may be an oligarchy if just a few people have the right to vote. An example of this was the time of apartheid in South Africa. In most oligarchies, the power of the leadership is supported by the wealthy and the military. In South Africa, if you remember, in chapter number 16, madam explained you in the first video itself that when Gandhiji became an advocate, he went first to work as a lawyer. He practiced there in South Africa for almost 22 years. And there, one fine time when he was traveling in train, he had a ticket of first class compartment, but he was thrown out of that because it was said that none other than few leaders or the wealthy or the military people were found proper to rule in the first class compartment. And that time, that was the rule, the form of government was oligarchy in South Africa. All the whites, means all the Europeans, held the power in their hand. At that time also the Britishers were ruling over South Africa, how they were ruling over India. So at that time the leadership was oligarchy, and I hope you understand the meaning of oligarchy form of government, that is ruled by the wealthy people of the country. Okay. Now, if we talk about anarchy, anarchy is a form of government, means actually there is no one as a ruling party or a ruling person. The things are completely messed up. The situation means the person who can boast upon other will boast upon other, and that is how there is completely uncontrollable situation where there is no rule, there are no form of government existing there. So that type of form of government is called anarchy. So this is all about the types of government, out of which we Indians, after getting freedom, our national leaders thought of making our country as complete free, meaning complete democracy, where it is ruled by the people, it is ruled for the people and of the people. So that is known as democracy. Children, I hope you all must be clear with understanding what is government and what are the types of or the forms of government. I hope the things are clear, so that in the next video I can explain you the different levels of government, and then we can proceed with our learning. So first I wanted you to know the meaning of government and to know the different forms of government, out of which we practice as Indians the democratic form of government. So we end up our learning for today here. Thank you and stay safe. Keep learning till the next video. And I hope children, you all will be watching these videos. Unless you don't watch the first part, you will never get connected with the second part. So before I release second part tomorrow, I wish that you all should first watch the first video. So as of now, I'm ending up with today's learning. See you soon with another learning video. Till then, keep learning.